Did you know where Valentine's Day, the holiday of love, really comes from? Well, buckle up because it's a journey that takes us all the way back to ancient Rome. Contrary to what you might expect, the roots of this romantic holiday lie not in heart-shaped chocolates or red roses, but rather in the Festival of Lupercalia. This was a pagan festival that took place in mid-February, right around the time we now celebrate Valentine's Day. But instead of celebrating love, Lupercalia was dedicated to Faunus, the Roman god of agriculture. The festival was an important event in the Roman calendar, marking the arrival of spring and the new agricultural year. So there you have it. The origins of Valentine's Day can be traced back to a Roman festival dedicated to farming, not love. So how did we get from Lupercalia, a festival of agriculture, to Valentine's Day, a celebration of love? Stay tuned to find out. Lupercalia, an ancient Roman festival, was quite different from the sweet and romantic Valentine's Day we know today. This festival, held every year on the 15th of February, was a raucous, wild celebration in honor of Lupercus, the Roman god of fertility and shepherds. The festival began at the Lupercal, a cave where, according to legend, the she-wolf Lupa nurtured Romulus and Remus, the founders of Rome. Here, the Luperci, or priests of Lupercus, would perform a ritual sacrifice. Goats, a symbol of fertility, and dogs, associated with purification, were the animals of choice. The sacrifices were not merely for show. The Romans believed these rites could protect their city from evil spirits and bring prosperity and fertility to its people. But the festival didn't stop at sacrifices. After the ritualistic killing, the Luperci would cut the animal skins into strips, dip them into the sacrificial blood, and then run around the city, lightly slapping women with these strips, known as februa. Far from being offended or scared, women welcomed this strange ritual. They believed that the touch of the februa would make them more fertile and ease the pains of childbirth. As if this wasn't enough, Lupercalia also had a lottery system to pair off couples. Yes, you heard it right. Single men would draw the names of unmarried women from a jar, and the couple would be, well, coupled for the duration of the festival. Sometimes these matches even led to marriages. So you see, Lupercalia was a festival of fertility, protection, and even a dash of romance. It was a time of wild celebration, a time of purification, and a time of coming together. It's hard to see the connection to our modern Valentine's Day, isn't it? But hang on, we're getting to that. Now, let's delve into how Lupercalia evolved into Valentine's Day. As Christianity began to rise in popularity around the 4th and 5th centuries, many pagan festivals, including Lupercalia, were increasingly frowned upon. The Church sought to replace these pagan celebrations with Christianized versions. Enter Pope Gelasius I, who in the late 5th century decided to replace Lupercalia with a festival dedicated to a Christian martyr named Saint Valentine. But why Valentine, you might ask? Well, there are various legends associated with Saint Valentine. One story tells that Valentine was a priest in Rome during the 3rd century. When Emperor Claudius II decided single men made better soldiers and outlawed marriage for young men, Valentine defied the decree and continued to perform marriages in secret. When his actions were discovered, he was sentenced to death, becoming a martyr for love. Another legend suggests that Valentine was imprisoned and fell in love with his jailer's daughter. Before his death, he wrote her a letter signed, "From your Valentine," an expression we still use today. Whether these stories are factual or not, they paint a picture of Valentine as a romantic figure, and it's easy to see why he became associated with a festival of love. But how did we go from honoring a saint to exchanging love letters or valentines? Well, the tradition of sending love notes dates back to the Middle Ages. It was commonly believed in France and England that February 14th was the beginning of birds' mating season, which added to the idea that the middle of February should be a day for romance. Over the centuries, these handwritten notes evolved into the mass-produced greeting cards we see today, and the holiday has expanded even further, with the exchange of gifts like roses and chocolates becoming common practice. So there you have it, the journey from Lupercalia to Valentine's Day, a transition from a wild fertility festival to a celebration of romantic love. Remember this the next time you're exchanging roses and chocolates. And if you love our channel, subscribe to History Hub for more interesting content.